excited. Marissa Leahy, Placer County Home Whisperer. Today I'm with Dawn,
Yay.
the beautiful Dawn.
Oh,
she
you're
was
so
sweet to do this and be game to do it.
Yeah, well, because it's you.
Yeah, so hey, no one else asked, right?
Yeah.
So as I was thinking about this interview, I'm like, how would I start this? There's so much I want to say and ask. So I really had to narrow it down. But what I did think about, and being a woman approaching 40, when I think of strong women, you're one of them.
Wow, thank you.
How do you wake up thinking I'm a strong, badass woman? Because you impact so many people.
Yeah. I think thank you. I appreciate that. I think that just over time, it just becomes who I am. You know, I mean, definitely was not that way. You know, in my 20s and my teens, gosh, even in my early 30s, I had so many insecurities and didn't feel, you know, as strong and amazing as people thought I was.
Yeah.
You know, which was odd because you're like, I'm putting this off, but
yeah.
you know, I'm not always feeling this way.
So when you wake up, you don't go, oh, I'm a badass and I'm strong. Because you probably should do that.
Oh my God. You know, like, here's the funny thing, to like get to that point, you know how you'll read different like inspirational things,
yes.
you know, books or online
Huge,
or whatever.
I'm really into
I
that.
love that too. So like, and so many of them are like, you know, print this out and put on your mirror, you know, in the bathroom, or put some on the fridge, like, you know, back when I was single or whatever, and say those things about yourself. And like really believe them, you know, and I used to think, really, but no, it really did help, you know. So yes, I used to do that then, you know, to like,
but I mean,
like
just
help.
When I think about it, I think of so like strong women even in my life, and just maybe in public, you being on the #1 radio show for a long time. And I mean, I'd hear it on the radio too, just numerous, not only just women, but really how much you mean to a lot of women. You give them strength in areas where they can't find anyone that will give them that strength in those areas. But truly, to get to where you are, I mean, how fulfilling is that?
It's
mind-blowing.
It is.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. Oh, sorry. It's,
I knew if I could get her to cry at least once, I was doing it.
It is. It's mind-blowing. It's humbling. It's, I love to help empower other women. And I think that because, when you yourself, me, have been in the same situations, you want to be able to like share that and help them with things that helped me, you know. So, and I really am a big believer in that, you know, like as we grow and know more and get outside of where we once were or how we thought certain things about ourselves or certain situations we were in, we should pass that along, you know, to others, because we're all flawed and we all have things that we are trying to work on and we're not perfect. And I think that that's huge too. It's like, hey, been there, done that, you know, even sometimes struggle with that. And I think that helps
Isn't
all
that
of
true
us.
success when you can reach down and help someone up?
Yep.
Yeah. And just when someone says, well, how do you do it? I want to do that. I want to be as successful. You don't keep your secrets to yourself. You share.
That's
and
right.
You truly are successful when you can bring someone back up.
Yeah, I remember like I would see different, you know, managers that my friends would have, and it was those that wanted to take credit instead of, you know, for the work, when it was actually the employee or someone else, you know, any one of us, and what a line of work you're in, or just day-to-day life, when we're sharing that, no, it was someone else's idea and they did it, that's still a great reflection. Do you know that it's like that boss hasn't learned that that's a good reflection on him or her, you know, that this is a person that they have working with them, you know. So like sorry, I got sidetracked on that.
It's okay.
Like, but just as you're saying, sharing it as opposed to like keeping it to yourself and saying that it's all yours. Yeah.
And I mean, really, you are the radio goddess.
Oh, I don't really think about that.
No, next time you sit to do the show, just think that, okay? That's a big thing, though. But it's true. I mean, did you set out to get into radio, or is it something that you fell into?
I fell into it. Like, so I thought I was going to be a music teacher.
Okay.
And so I was going to school for that, and I was waiting tables and to pay my way through college. And there was this girl who worked nighttime, she was a nighttime DJ, and I used to listen to her and thought she was great. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should do that as my job to pay for college.
To be a music teacher.
Yeah. Like,
So-
like it's like earn money this way to pay my way through college.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun way to do so.
Yeah.
As opposed to, being a waitress is hard, and not that I don't mind hard work, but it's like
I've never served food.
It's
the one thing I've done everything else.
It's hard work, and I'm not afraid of hard work.
Yeah.
But I'd done it for so many years. I was trying to think of another way to pay for school doing something that I really, really loved. So there used to be a broadcasting school here in Sacramento. It's since shut down, but so I went there for, gosh, it was only like a 9-month course, so I could get the experience, to get the job. Whatever, I didn't even know how radio worked. I think probably back then I thought, oh yeah, I'll be able to, then just get a job. But it's with my own shift or something. I just wasn't sure how it worked. I just knew that might be a fun way to earn money for college. So then when I started going to that broadcasting school, I fell in love.
So
I just fell in love.
And that's what I talk about all the time. So you're in school to be a music teacher. You said, oh, I'll do that just in between, open that door, and that ended up becoming your passion.
Oh, I fell in love with it. Totally just never went back to school. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my thing. And then I learned the process of you don't just go get your own shift.
So did you start then at nighttime or?
I actually started overnights on the weekend in Tahoe, and Rob that I work with now was my boss then, and was the first person to ever hire me. Okay. So I did, and that was in Tahoe, and I still lived in Sacramento. So on the weekends I would go and do overnights. Like I'm not sure if anyone even still offers that. It seems like it doesn't. A lot of stuff gets recorded now, but it used to be a live person in there from midnight to 6 in the morning. That. Yeah, and that was
Line.
me.
Yeah, remember Loveline?
I do. Yeah.
In between the sheets. You could call in and say anything you wanted to say. So now, primarily in the radio industry, is it? To me, as a listener, it seems like it's still male dominated. Is that true or not?
Gosh,
personality wise.
What do you mean, like just how many people there are in the men in comparison to the women?
It just still seems like main.
Yeah, I mean, probably. So here's the thing with me is that when I first got into radio, obviously your whole life is radio because it's like you're learning. And obviously I wanted to learn, and you're a sponge for it, and you are making sure that I'm at the radio station all the time, taking in everything I possibly could, and it kind of becomes your second family because that's who you spend the most time with, And then as we've gone along in the years and you get different positions and different things you're doing, it really, the business side of it just fell off for me, so I basically became, I love what we do, and I don't really pay attention to what goes on in the radio industry. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I have no idea. I can only imagine and think from the things that I'll hear, or just, you just turn on the radio, right? That, there's still kind of that male domination, but then you'll hear, I'll be in other cities and you will hear where there's a lot of women that are running the morning show. Yeah. There's like lead women, and then there's, the guys that are the co-hosts or whatever. And I've heard some stations when we've been out of town in other cities where it's, all girls, So I most definitely from like where I started to now, there's definitely more females, I feel like. Yeah. I feel like there weren't as many, when I started. And you had a certain place that you were supposed to be, sexy, and have that sexy voice, I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, and so the thing that, with Rob that I work with, because that was always my, boss, is that he encouraged more personality. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like,
more meat and potatoes.
Yeah, because you know what, I even would get, as a lot of us women will have insecurities, and especially when I was younger, and I'd even be like, gosh, if I don't sound sexy, or if I don't look sexy to them, that's it, we're gonna lose listeners. He'd be like, no, it's your personality, it's you, it's who you are, so it became more personality radio
Yeah.
that's really going to win people over.
And have them win them for the length of time.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
just a short.
I mean, you know, back then, I mean, I remember there was a time they wanted to get, there was finally like, how many of us, like 4 what they considered cute girls on staff,
Yeah.
right? And they wanted to get them to, all of us to mud wrestle each other.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Thank you. And I'm like, yeah, no.
No.
Not doing that.
No.
That is not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
That is not what I signed up for. That is like not
So you never
anything
fell into
I want.
that trap.
No.
It was very much no. That
Very
is
much
not-
no. And you know, I mean, I try not to judge because I feel, you know, each person's on their own journey and they have to find their own place that they think they are. But I personally have more respect for women in this industry, or really any industry, that really relies more on their personality and their intelligence, as opposed to, I'm going to win you over by my looks and my body.
Absolutely.
I just don't.
And that's a short win.
And it is. And it's not that, you know, those things aren't important to people. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being beautiful or being, you know, and fit and having a body that someone want to look at. But I always hope that it's because you're doing it for you, right? And not because that's how you're going to get ahead, you know, type of thing. So I just don't. And for me, it was like, no, I'm not going that route. I'm not doing that. That's like so uncomfortable.
So right away you had that. That was
right away. And I was willing to just
go with that,
lose my job over it, because it's like I'm not.
Well, that says a lot about you, and that comes out in your personality, the strength there.
Yeah.
And that's when, going back to that, you're like a badass and
so
the goddess of radio. I mean, having that strength and being a role model, that's a huge deal. Not everybody, I would say very rare, do have that strength, especially early on when you could easily went the other route. You know, or bent the way they wanted you to in different areas.
Yep. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I do also remember, like, I was told once by a male program director. I mean, nothing wrong with men. I'm married to a man, but you know, like, just the whole male domination stuff, that I need to cry more, right? Because that's what was.
Oh, jeez, so lonely.
Because I mean, isn't that what we do as women, right?
Well, I do
the
feel like
soft heart.
cry.
Yeah, I know, me too. But do you know what I mean? Like that,
like,
just like you know, like we expect strength from the guys, but like they didn't say that to the guys. Do you know what I mean? But
I love you, Dad, but you cry more than me. In his old age.
But it's like
he sobs.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that though. But I'm like, I am a crier.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty, you know, I can be emotional. So it's kind of like, I will cry when it's real.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like cry because this is where I should cry.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it needs to be real, and this is actually how I feel about it.
And the women that did cry when he said you should cry are not in radio anymore.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's short-lived. I want to go back to something that was really interesting that you just touched on. That I asked you about kind of the industry, and you're like, well, I don't know, I'm in my bubble.
I am.
Okay, so that's true success too. Like it is like you do what you do, you do it well. Like In-N-Out, I always say this: they do a burger well. They're not going to add meat free. You could get grilled cheese, I guess, but I mean, come on, they do it well. Their heads down is what they do. Yeah. You guys, you do it well. It doesn't matter what's going on in the industry. You're like, I hear sometimes someone says. I mean,
I am so far removed, and it's nothing like. What's crazy is that, like I said in the beginning, you're working so much. I mean, it's 7 days a week. It's 14, 15 hours a day. You know, I mean, like this is what you're living and breathing. So you're inundated, right? Yeah. But then as you go along and you get more successful, and so then it's, you know, you're still working, right? Yeah. But it's not the same. And then it just became about, I love what I do, but I really hate our industry. Yeah. Like our industry it's pretty like car salesy. You know what I mean? It's
so bad. I never listen to live radio except for you guys. Yeah. And by the way, I love your Italian because this is us. Like if I get a black eye, it's because we're talking. Yeah. No, my son has wrestling, and the coach plays. I'm not even gonna say the radio.
Yeah, don't.
And it's so bad. What are they talking about? And it's that annoying, it's just terrible.
Yeah, but you know, just like all the ins and outs. So like, to give you a little insight more.
Sale, that's funny.
I mean, to like give you a little more insight, I mean, I better explain. Like, okay, so there's this thing in radio that you're told, like when you first get in radio, that, you know, keep references on hand, because, you know, people are constantly getting fired in radio and they need to have their next job. And so you need to have, you know, network, like in any industry, right?
Okay.
So like network. So you'll run into some folks in the business that, I mean, they know everyone all over the country, right? You know, oh, do you know about so-and-so? No. Do you know? I mean, like, I've never been that person, you know, and, which maybe was not a smart idea early on, you know, but it's kind of like,
or was it?
I'm like, you know, I like what I'm doing here. And, and I learned, you know, when we used to be in Reno, I'm like, you know, I like what I'm doing here, and I'm not necessarily sure, you know, if I got fired, if I would even stay in this industry. So why would I be branching out at all these other people from all over the country, you know? So it just never was something that I got interested in. So that's like a thing where people, you know, will read radio magazines and radio trade and things online about radio and what's happening with who and the president of this company and that radio. I don't know. I have no clue.
But that's, I think, what makes you good.
Maybe. I'm a radio person.
You're relatable because you're not.
I'm not a radio person.
You're a radio person on the radio, but not a radio person.
I'm not. So it's
that
like,
makes complete sense.
Yeah, I remember being called into the office once because I wasn't going out enough with the girls at the station, because the girls should. There again, that's sexist.
The girls should go out.
Like forced friendships, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not that. They're lovely girls. I like them. You know, when we see each other in the building, I talk and chat, and it's great, but I got a life outside of this, you know what I mean? And I have girlfriends that I've known since my early 20s, and we all get busy, and we hardly have enough time for the people that are in our life. Yeah. Right? So it's like, if I'm going to make time for people in my life.
Hell yes, it's a hell no.
It's like people that have already been in my life for a long time that, you know, I'd like to see, not this like forced friendship, you know? So I don't even have.
So what you're saying is you struggle to stay into the box, which is what I was telling you before we started. You like to do your own thing, and you can't fall into, and that's why I struggle with my kids in school. I'm like, can't you just stay in the box? This is what you're supposed to do. No, they're just, you know. Well, but what you did, you built this machine step by step, hard work, years and years of it. And now you're reaping the benefits. You're able to be you. You're your personality. You're who you are. You don't really have to worry about all that garbage out there. What's the newest in radio? What is that show doing?
You know what? And
you get to be you.
I do. And I honestly, I give, you know, it's, well, first of all, like, tons of people built this show, you know, and it was like Rob's vision, you know what I mean? So we kind of like had that vision, and he is a big believer in what you just said. It's kind of like, do your thing, you know, do your thing, like be who you are, and like do your thing. And so when you have that kind of surrounding, you know, that makes it a lot more comfortable and easy to do. Yeah. And so, it's really, I walk in every day.
Do you pinch yourself?
I do, because we've been in our own building, it's like 10 years, I think. Yeah.
It's bigger than my house.
It's pretty awesome. And I still, when I come here, I feel so, I feel so blessed and feel so thankful that I've been able to be a part of this, you know, and to help build it, because it's like a team thing, you know. And Rob, I shouldn't say feel bad for, but like because he owns the show, right? So he definitely probably gets more inundated with all of that stuff, you know, in radio and this or that, because obviously when you're the owner of a radio show, you know, and you're running things, you need to know what's happening and going on with the different stations that we're on and stuff like that. So he would be, I always tell people, if you want to pick someone's brain about radio, because they'll start asking me questions, you know, I'm like, I have no clue what is going on in this industry, never have really, you know, like, so Dr. Rob.
Dr. Rob. But I mean, you're being really humble. I mean, this is what it is because of you too, though.
I don't know. I mean, it's a group
when I'm
thing.
Listening, I'm thinking, oh, I think that, and you'll almost always say exactly what I'm thinking. And in a way that I would say it. Yeah. And a lot of people feel that way. And so to have their point of view, everyone's point of view coming in, that is part of the magic. You take it out, the magic kind of, we got to figure that out again.
Yeah.
So as humble as you want to be, you might know not how to use this board.
Oh,
but
no idea.
You are the magic as well. You're a piece of that.
Definitely. We're all like a piece, but like
overall, he would be Mr. Radio.
For sure. Well, I mean, he himself also, it's not like he hangs out with radio people, but with the executives or the people that are running other stations. Yeah. He'd be in the know and really know what's going on with radio, especially like for people that want to get into radio, which we always say no. Like, no, don't do it. Find something else to do. I think that we got in at a good time and I've been really lucky, but I just, for me, it's not even about, that's sweet, like I'm being humble, but I don't think anyone should ever like get to a point where they do think they're so amazing. And I know that I don't mean like you shouldn't be proud of yourself.
No, because you have a good work ethic though.
Yeah.
So you do your show and then you're gonna do what you do. You're not gonna like just say, oh, I'm so great, I don't have to do it. No, you're in the generation still where hard work pays off.
Yeah, we have
and have that mentality.
Yes, we have our own rad store,
yeah.
Where we sell product.
Yeah.
And
when you're not a personality in here, you're shipping.
I'm shipping.
Yeah.
I will even like with our vendors that
you work late.
That buy our
you're really working late.
That buy our products, that have it in their store, I'll deliver it to them. I mean, it's like kind of like, and sometimes people are like, you're delivering it? Like it should be someone, you know what I mean? Like it's like, well, yes. Because I don't believe in that. Like I'm too good for this or that. I mean, what? No, like,
and there's joy.
No one, even somebody. I mean, the president of the United States should never believe his own hype either. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think any person should get to a point where they're like, "Oh, I'm so great."
Like have a personal shopper. I haven't been in a grocery store in 20 years. Although
that would be great, right? Especially with your kids.
The e-cart thing.
Oh, I
must
love
have
that.
dabbled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I do that, I'm like, this is what it's like to have your own shopper.
And he came the other day and he popped the thing. He's like, ma'am, where do you want me to put this stuff? Because I had so much crap.
Yeah.
I'm like, just put it on top somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. That is true. But remember truly who you are, being humble. Yeah. And I think what you're really saying is success comes for our listeners being authentic, following you.
Yep.
Because when you try to fake and be someone else, that never works.
It never works.
Never.
No, it really doesn't.
Longevity is not there.
It starts to eat at your soul.
Yes.
Because I mean, I used to, when I was younger, it was like, just growing up or just, in high school, or maybe when we're all young, we do this. I know I did. Or in my early 20s, it's like, well, who do I need to be?
Yeah.
Who is it that somebody needs me to be?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be that, and it's like.
Oh, that didn't work.
No, and it works for this little time, and then it just starts feeling terrible
what happens?
And rotten.
You have a nervous breakdown.
Yes,
And you go, who am I? Yeah. What do I like? I thought I liked pizza. I don't like pizza.
Exactly.
It's like you have this whole awakening.
Yes. Or like, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've dated, but I remember back when I would date and I'd be like, oh yeah, I love to hike. No, I don't. No, I don't.
I don't.
But it sounded great, right?
Yeah.
I love to hike
I
work out every day.
Every day, it's my favorite. And then you realize I'm lying, but I'm lying to myself.
Yes.
And you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And for me, that didn't even till about mid-30 when I went, who am I?
Yes.
And I really realized I better figure my shit out. I don't even, we can say shit.
Yeah.
When this all of a sudden, am I going to be edited? No, I'm the editor. We're fine. No, but I realized raising kids, I better know who I am.
Yes.
How am I to teach them to be good members of society and be who they are?
Yep.
So I better as well get my stuff together.
Good for,
right?
oh my God. No, good
so
for
if
you.
Your 18, 19-year-old self, what advice would you give her today?
Man. Do you know what is tough about that? Is that I feel that 18 and 19-year-old, the lessons that she learned helped get me on my journey to where I am now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not
Those
sure.
Those mistakes
got
which
me.
Is what I kind of wanted you to say.
But
it's true.
It is true. Like I don't really, I don't subscribe to regrets because I subscribe to, learned from that. Now me move on and past it.
Yeah.
And learn to not do that again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do it again, I shouldn't be surprised, that the outcome's terrible, right? Like,
and some of your biggest mistakes have been your biggest success because they led to something.
So it's like, I mean, of course, there's a million things I'd want to say to that 18 and 19-year-old, but that 18 and 19-year-old did not have the capability of even absorbing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say, stop, relax, you're going to be major successful.
And they're like, what? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What do you know?
Yeah. I mean, to just think about that, just the change between that age and now.
Oh my God, forget it's a million lifetimes.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is like I could flash back, I'm sure you can too, right? To certain ages where you'd hear someone that had the wisdom from living
and
a certain amount of time. And you're like, okay, yeah, whatever, and then years later you're like,
right.
Do you know what? They were right.
Yes.
You'll you know what?
I tell my kids that all the time. Yeah. I make sure I remind them. I say, your mom helps build your character, because I say, your mom, you're so weird. Can't you just be like a normal mom?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Well, no, I'm building your character. This is helpful for you.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So that is true. When I hear things, or I'll even now do something, I'll go, oh, my mom told me that.
Yep, it's a real thing.
But then I go, am I my mom now?
Right, yes. Oh
wait, I'm my mom. Oh, it's like you wake up.
I love that you made that conscious decision to like find out who you were for your kids.
Yes.
I real that's so important.
It is, because how in the world I cannot sit there and tell them, I really want my kids to be authentic in themselves. I want them to be strong, whatever they decide to do. If it's a job that doesn't pay much, but they are the happiest, that's great. You know, and it does. And I always looked at my children. We always Joel and I get compliments. Wow, your kids are so well behaved. They're just so kind. They talk so well. And, we just have we're not raising children. We're creating humans.
Yes.
We're creating people in society.
Gosh, yes.
And I figure if I can, without them notice that I'm doing this, maybe they'll kind of, instead of like we did, like, oh yeah, and then really realizing that was good advice.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't notice
that
we're doing that. But I needed to know who I am, and I'm not going to say that was easy. Honestly, it wasn't.
It's not easy.
And to find out, and you go through a lot in really, really hard times, and depression even.
Yes,
I had depression.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Not knowing. It brings up a lot of stuff, childhood stuff.
All of
that could be a whole nother discussion.
Oh my God, yeah.
But no, it is true. I need to know who I am, and also I want my kids to know my mom is. She does do that, and that I want to be a person.
Yeah.
And when the kids were young, I woke up one day and I said, "My name is Mom, but I have a name. What is my name?
Yeah, who am I?
And now when I'm out and people say my name, it feels good.
No, and when you say, you're a person, because I've noticed that with like our godkids or nieces and nephews, where I'm like saying to them, your mom had a whole other life before you even existed.
Yeah.
And for them, this is all she's been.
Yes.
Obviously, of course, right?
Yes.
How could they? But so it's like to get them to understand and realize, no, like you, she's a person. She was your age, and then she had this, life that you just see her as this mother, that's going to cook for you or whatever, or tuck you in, or, be a mom, But
and I want them to see me as strong.
Yes.
And strong and a personality.
Oh, so important.
And if I do that and they're able to dance to their own tune, then I did my job.
I remember my oldest sister telling me, like, she would just be pounding her head against the wall when her two daughters, my two nieces, were in high school, and she
haven't gotten there yet, but we're close.
She just felt like she wasn't getting through, like they're just not listening, paying attention, and it was just your normal teenage garbage, and so she felt like a failure a lot, because trying to figure out, okay, well, different ways then to present the conversation or this or that, because you don't want them to pull away, you want them to open up, but you don't want them to think you're nagging to it, just all these things she would say, and then it was like, gosh, when they were both like 19, 20 years old, they were like, Mom, we heard, this almost like chokes me up, because I felt for her going through it. She was like, they're like, Mom, we heard every word. Mm-hmm. We heard every word.
She did not know.
Yeah, it's because they're acting like they're not hearing it, you know? And so they're like, it had a huge impact. Your words did have a huge impact on us, and they did like seep in. We just weren't ready to receive it, so it's like,
and that's the thing with parenting. There's no handbook. you don't know what you did until it's too late. They're adults, right?
Yeah.
And then do you know what I mean? And you're messed up and you're trying to raise someone that isn't messed up because everyone's messed up, has their issues, right? And so I forgave myself. Part of my struggle to finding out who I was, I had to forgive myself and me only. And it was, I would always go to bed, and every night, and I hear a lot of moms do this. They say, okay, I did this wrong. I did this wrong. I did this wrong. Oh my God, I'm the worst mom. Now I say, you know what? I did the best I could today.
Yeah.
Was some of it bad? Probably.
Because we're all human.
But it was the best I could do today. And I know I love my kids. They know that I love them, and I'll try better tomorrow. And you just let it go.
I love that.
And I just, I started doing that, it was such a weight off your chest.
I bet, yes.
You know, and it was like, okay, I can do this.
It's more productive.
And when I make a mistake, I tell my kids, I blew it. Yeah. I did not nail that.
Wow, see, that's...
As a parent, that sucked. I'm going to be honest.
That's got to be so great for
your
kids.
Well, the kids laugh. Hear. They go, Mom, you blew it again. And I go, see, because you can make mistakes too, because my daughter is a perfectionist, and my son too, in a different way, very different ways. But they're hard on themselves when they make a mistake. Well, hey, that's the good stuff. Okay, now next time you won't do it.
Right.
And so when I make a mistake, it's loud and clear in the house.
Yeah.
Like, Mom blew it. Huge, by the way. But we're going to figure out how we can fix this.
Gosh,
okay?
That's so funny.
So actually, just last night, Joel and I were talking, and we had to have a parenting moment with our son. And then later he said, gosh, I don't know if he's hearing me. Well, he is. I'm sure he is. And he's like, I'm blowing it. Well, you are. Okay? You can't sit there and think that you're not. Because we all are.
Yes.
But if you have the best intention, it will be okay.
Yeah. I remember,
it'll be okay.
You're totally reminding me of this hairstylist I had years ago. And a whole other topic we could do as well. My husband and I tried. We didn't get pregnant. But at the time when we were, I was like talking to my hairstylist, and I was like, I'm so nervous, you know, because my childhood wasn't the best, and I don't want to like screw my kid up. And she's like, okay, you're not, you're not those people, right? From your childhood. She's like, and newsflash, you will.
Yeah.
You will screw up.
You might as well just know you're not going to nail it. Okay?
Yeah, she's like, you are going to screw something up. Something about
you know
them.
That
and you're not going to, as you said, she's like, and you're not going to know until later.
Yeah.
Like, it long done already happened. It's years later, and they come to you.
Yeah, we have to wait like 30 years for the reward. Okay? It's not a piece of pie. It's like, I want my chocolate cake. No, I'm going to have it in 20 more years. My daughter's going to call me out of the blue, maybe, if she has a baby, and go, Mom, I love you.
Right, yes.
Because of this, and that. And I'm going to go, oh, it was worth it. Right? Years later. Yeah. But you know what? Having kids has taught me how to look at things. It has made me more understanding.
Yeah.
They teach you, so much about yourself. And that sounds cliche, but it is the truth.
Because when we took foster care classes to foster kids, and they were like, it was so weird because we go through this whole thing, and we're like, because, you go in thinking, hey, we're pretty good people. I think we got a lot to offer. Right? Like, you walk in thinking you're the one.
I'm thinking of a movie.
But
it was a show
oh,
or something.
Oh, my gosh. It's so good with Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
Yes, that's so good. I love that movie. Yeah, and that's how my husband were. This was like years ago. We're like, we got a lot to bring to the table.
And
we
they're
can
like,
do
oh, look at how cute they are. They don't know yet.
And you walk in thinking that you're the one with all these gifts to give. You know what I mean? As the person you are. And after you're like, shit, I'm the one that, like, you learn a lot about you.
Yes.
So
in
and
a way, it's very selfish.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, we are like really solving a lot of things. It's a selfless act that's very selfish.
Yeah.
You're in radio, but not. We have really summed up a lot. It's true, though. It's true. It really it is. They give you more than sometimes it feels than like I give them.
Yeah.
But then I remind myself I give everything to my kids, and so no, they need to give me more.
Give you something. Well, and they were telling us too in the foster care training. They're like, with you saying you're not going to get the accolades till years later. They're like, you're probably never going to know how the good stuff they feel about you. So you better be tough.
But you said you had a bad childhood, but look at how good you are now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, kids are resilient.
Oh my God, they are.
They're so resilient.
You just need the right people. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, if you love them and you try to guide them the best you can, and having the right people, strong people in their lives.
And I think even allowing mistakes to be made, because that's where we grow and learn.
Okay, I'm raising kids in a society where can you make mistakes? No, because everyone's right. Yep. Every opinion's right. Oh no, you didn't get first because everybody got first. Yep. Ugh,
it doesn't teach anything.
It's so hard.
We have, again, we could probably talk about this for hours. We'll have conversations about this on the show. I honestly find it abusive.
Oh,
I feel like you are doing your child no service when you are not allowing them.
In fact, it's more detrimental.
Yes, they need to feel that sadness, that loss, that, the uncomfortableness. That's how they grow. That's how they become strong. That's how they become resilient. That's how we all became adults.
I lost. Okay? Yeah. I would bring home second and my dad would be like, oh, great. So when are you going to get first? That's not a trophy. Yeah. I mean, truly. We found for my son, trying to raise a strong man, the only sport, so he's in now is wrestling, that they lose. Yeah. There ain't no sugarcoating. It's suck it up, buttercup.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to win that, then you got to
do what needs to be done.
Yeah, you got to do what needs to happen.
Yep.
And that was a little being in it. We kind of are looked at upon as other parents as, oh wow, they're really. What do you mean you don't want the trophy for participating?
Oh
no.
My God.
Okay, that's
just for showing
up.
It's
abusive.
It is.
If you say that really in the world of parenting, you can't. I mean, there's very few.
I don't envy at all, because so I haven't the last year, but for years I was a 4-H project leader for 4-H, and so I would do a baking group, and that's obviously my only other experience with moms is like either my friends that are moms, but we're all like-minded. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. And they have friends that are like-minded. Right. So and my sister's a sister-in-law. So, usually
you stay around. Yeah. Yeah. You're drawn to people that are.
Right. But you'll hear the stories of what you're saying. Right. And so my first introduction to that, obviously, because with not having kids, I wouldn't have that. Right. Like, even if all your girlfriends that are moms think like you, well, now you're going to school. There's all these other stuff, right, that you're surrounded with, or sports or whatever. So with 4-H, I was like, with some of the mothers, I'm like, oh my gosh, they would literally be hounding me for, the majority of them are good, but you would have some that were just like, I want my child to be, what would they call it? Because a leader of the group, because I'm the project leader of the kids, but then you'd have the kids that could be leaders of the kids, right? And so, I would like my daughter in a leadership position.
Okay.
And I said,
did she earn this?
Well, yes, there's that, but then I'm also like, back up here. Your daughter, I'm seeing your daughter's name. Oh, and she's 12. If your daughter if she wants to be a leader, then she should be contacting me, not you. Mm-hmm. And they'd be like, oh, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but your daughter is old enough to contact me and find out what needs to be done to be one of the junior leaders. Yeah. But they would try and be the ones getting it for them. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're doing your kid no service. There was this contest with this baking
and that's
contest.
Abusive too.
It is. There was this cooking and baking contest. This was my other thing with some moms. I was like, they all hated me, and I didn't care, because I'm like, one of them said something to me, and I said, you know what, honestly, I don't do this to get friends. I have friends. Yeah. I'm like, I'm doing this for the kids. You know what I mean? In service to them, and the things that so many things that kids learn in 4-H, and I'm like, I'm not here to be your best friend, so whatever. There was at Cal Expo for one of the fairs, there was going to be this huge cooking contest, whatever, and some of the kids could join, and they were so excited, and they were a little older, 13, 14, definitely old enough to pick out their own recipes, and they would tell me, this is what we want to do. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, you guys could totally do that. That's amazing. Go for it. If you need any suggestions, if you're not sure of an ingredient, if you have any questions, come to me. But other than that,
it's yours.
Oh my God, phone calls, emails. We need to do this, and we need to do this for them. And no, we don't like the recipes they chose, and they need to do these.
No.
I was like, I am only doing this if they 100% are doing this themselves with their recipes, and they'll either win or lose on their own merit. And they were like, yeah, no. I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Okay, so before I found myself, you start school, kindergarten, this is what we do. Oh, that's what we do as moms, Oh, a science project. Don't touch it, honey. I'm making it, right? Let's take it in. Let's see what grade you get.
Oh my gosh.
And then I went, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't need to know how to make a mission.
Oh, the missions. Do they still do that?
It's gone.
Oh, I can't remember how many times I went to Michael's with my sisters and my friends to get all it. That's usually like where I write the crafts, whatever.
Do you know what I did? I special ordered.
You did.
It was from England.
Oh my gosh.
This mission. We get it. And Joel was having to cut out with an X-Acto knife little windows.
Oh my gosh.
It was horrific.
So it was really just
my daughter learned nothing.
No.
My husband and I fought terribly. What else happened? It was such a mess. And my daughter to this day remembers it as a terrible experience.
Yeah.
So see, we blew it.
Yeah.
Okay. My son gets the project and he glued some, like sticks and like a Q-tip. Turned it in.
Perfect.
He did it all himself.
That's your mission.
He didn't get a good grade, but hey, he only glued some sticks and a toothpick.
Yeah, I remember saying to my sister, I'm like, so this mission project.
Yeah.
I'm like, so this is really more about which parents do better than the other parents, because the kids are like shoved to the side.
Yes. Oh, and you could tell I'm so proud sitting there. Look what I built. I mean, we had real fires, okay? Your kid did not build a real fire that starts with a button, okay? We had it was some really, it had water falls, okay, on cardboard.
What are you doing?
And I'm like, did you get an A? Really? But I was one of those that I didn't know. I didn't know where to find myself. Is this me? And then I went, this is not me. If I had a project, my parents were like, good luck, go outside, collect. Make it within your means.
Figure it out.
And I failed on my daughter. I messed her up. I made her mission. Yeah. My son made his. And he is well adjusted on the projects. My daughter freaks out with projects, and it's my fault.
Yeah.
I blew it. But you know what? I'm going to reverse it.
That was a higher expectation.
I'm going to reverse it and teach her how to be not that way.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm very honest with my kids. Okay, this was wrong. I should have had you do it. Yeah. And that taught you nothing. Now, next time, I'm going to let you fail terribly, and then you'll say, what do I do next time? Well, let's figure that out and think, what you could do differently next time without your mom.
That whole thing, man, I'm like, this is a whole moneymaker,
and
man.
Even Joel was like, who did I marry? This woman is nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's so funny, and it's still
so freeing now, though.
Oh, it's amazing.
Could you imagine, still
No, because I see them running that drop off with their projects. And they're like, God forbid that thing fall. Panic attack.
Oh my gosh, so this was numerous years ago, which again was probably not new to you, but was so new to me. I'm in a sandwich shop, and it's around lunchtime, and I'm getting some lunch to bring back here. And the guy's like, because if you're a woman of a certain age, you either have children or you had them, right?
Yes.
This is what happens to
us.
us.
How many kids do you have?
Yeah, it's not did you have, it's like,
how many?
You're a woman, you must have, what is expected, right? So the guy was like, oh, you bringing sandwiches for, because I was bringing some back for here. Are you bringing sandwiches to school to your kids? And I'm like, no, they're for where I work, but what is this you speak of?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh. And he was appalled by this. He's like, oh, we get moms in here all the time that are their kids text them and say they want whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever from wherever, right? Whatever fast, whatever sandwich shop. And they will go get it, bring it to them at school. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Let me tell you, had we had children, no. My kid would be the kid at the school with their lunch of whatever I packed them or eating at the school. I would never, my text back would be, my text back would be if they had a phone, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. My lunch was no ice packs, okay? A smash PB&J. If we were lucky, it was egg salad, which who wants that? That stinks at
you're
school.
not switching that with anybody.
A bad Red Delicious apple and never a juice box. We had to use gas drinking fountains.
Oh my God. How are you alive?
Yeah, how are you alive? Okay, well, that's why we work, okay? We work for what we have. Okay, so we're going on. I said it'll be 10 minutes.
Oh, how long have
It's like almost 45.
I'm so sorry. I'm
okay,
a talker.
it's okay. I love it. I have to ask you.
There's a million other things.
I know, a couple more things.
Yeah.
So one question. When people see you out, they think they know you, but they're a stranger to you. How does that feel? I'm sure you have people like, oh, and the other day, you know.
Yeah, no,
Is
so
that weird?
I think at first, yes.
Yeah.
Like, now, no. But yes, at first when it started happening, it was like, well, I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. When I got into radio, there was no one would even know who you were unless
you were just a voice.
You're just a voice.
Yeah.
Right? Like if they went out to meet you at a car dealership because you're doing a live remote, right?
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah.
you know, or you'll see someone, right, at a grocery store, whatever, that,
Yeah.
you know, we're here giving away this or that, come buy this or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the only way they would know what you looked like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so when all of, obviously, social media, Facebook, all that stuff started occurring,
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, they can just look on the website and see. So at first it was really weird because you're like, oh, yeah, because they went online.
saw,
and so, yeah. So at first it was strange, but it was, you know, I have had like, it's weird in all these years. I'm trying to think to make sure because I forget sometimes,
Yeah.
but I have not had a bad experience with a listener, and they're all just people like we all are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's actually like really nice to meet them, you know, and so, and they'll just talk, you know, so, and yes, and they'll even say, what's funny, getting back to what you were asking, they'll even say, this is so weird for me because they're like, I know so much about you and you like know nothing of me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but that's how we, you know,
Yeah.
we already know that, right?
Yeah.
Because we're putting that all out there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So you're
of course
well
they're
aware.
well aware.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to feel like they know me because they do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They do. They know
They
so
probably
much.
know
you know
more than other people in their family.
Yeah,
or friends.
yeah. So it's like they do know. They know. I mean, especially if they've been listening a long time, they know the
Yeah.
whole, you know, your whole life story.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. But so then I'm like asking them questions about them. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I
'Cause
just
it's like-
think that would be so weird. Because sometimes it'll give me, I mean, obviously I don't have a following and I'm not in this industry, but I'll just be out and, I love your new couch. And I'm like,
You're like, what are you talking about?
are they in my, and then I realize, we posted a picture of the kids. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, but at first I kind of feel like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But obviously you get it so often that it's just a norm.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy is like, I think because this is such, I've done this basically my whole life since I'm 20 years old.
This is
So-
your norm.
This is my norm. So
To
I don't
be so well known.
Well, no, but of doing this job, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm not here, I'm not thinking about that. Like if someone is like, "Hey, Dawn, I will," you know what my first thought is? Oh God, where did I meet you? And I'm not remembering.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
the pressure of that.
the pressure of that. Like, did my husband introduce me? Are you
Yeah.
a friend of a friend's that I
Yeah.
met at their house? I mean, like that is literally because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't walk around thinking, well, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because it's just my job, like
Yeah.
anyone else's job, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's
because it is
everyday
just
life.
yeah. So that is my initial thing, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you listen.
Put
Oh my
it
God,
together.
thank you. You know, and
Yeah.
it's like, honestly, like I know it probably sounds silly or weird, but
No,
like we
it's
all
true.
are really, really grateful and thankful when we do
You guys
meet
seem
listeners
that way,
because
yeah.
it's like
You are that way.
that you're
No,
you're
I think
why I'm
again,
employed
that's
for
why-
so long. You know
Well,
what I
think
mean?
That's
Like,
why you have your success,
Yeah.
because you still appreciate that.
yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God, so much. Like it's mind-boggling. It
Yeah.
really is that we have been doing this for this long at such a high level
Yeah.
of performance,
Yeah.
you know, and with the ratings, and it's like, wow, thank you so freaking much, because
Do you
if
foresee
you
yourself doing this like another 20 years?
I don't know, I'll be like, I'm not going to be 50 in January. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd be like 70, so
Well,
probably.
maybe.
You know what I always say, because I'm a woman of faith, so
Yeah.
I always say I have my plans and then God has his.
Yes, that's true.
So while I'm over here planning, he's over in the corner going,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I believe
So-
that too, and finding myself and all that too.
Yeah.
Putting the faith in God and know that and when your number's up, your number's up. Like,
Yeah.
you can't worry about
No.
the uncontrollables.
Oh God, you can't. Well, and to me, it's like, it's not that I don't plan or you have goals or dreams,
Yeah.
but it's and maybe, and obviously I'll do what I can on my end on a human level. I'm not just going to sit around and go, well, God's genie in a bottle and poof, it'll just occur, whatever he wants for me. No, it's living life, working it, wherever it is I think I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be doing. And then knowing that at any time God could make it go another way, you know? So, and this is where he's kept me. This is where he's wanted me. So this is what it is.
Because you're helping so many people.
Apparently it's just weird. Well, I mean, it's just weird to hear that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah, it's
okay. So I don't want to keep you forever, but we need to know a few things. What's your favorite food?
Ooh, Mexican.
Mexican, me too.
For sure.
Favorite color?
Oh God, that's hard.
You don't have one?
Favorite
color, like just that you like to look at, maybe not necessarily wear. My favorite color is yellow, and I'm not going to go around wearing yellow all the time.
Yeah,
that's a hard color to wear.
I like, I'm annoying with this question
because,
and here's why, because obviously I love turquoise,
and I love turquoise,
but I don't
You're going to say rainbow,
but no. But I don't want turquoise on my walls paint. You know what I mean?
But
I don't want a turquoise
makes your soul
couch.
happy.
Yeah, it does. I don't want a turquoise couch, And I love the fall. I love those reds and yellows and orange. Oh, I love looking at that, and greens. Like I love, I guess, earthy tones. And I mean, for clothes, black. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. Black is always good.
So it's
black with yellow.
It depends on what are we talking about here for scenery, for your house?
So turquoise makes you happy.
It does, and but
my daughter has a wall. Her one wall in her room is that color.
Is that color?
She loves it.
Yeah, and what's funny is like if you come to our house, the style that we like is like that rustic.
Southwestern.
Yeah, Southwestern rustic cowboy. You know what I mean? So it's like there's not
chic.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of there's no chic.
No chic. Okay.
Do you know? Here's the thing. Like
Do you have any like fur or anything, or like
a cow rug?
A little bit of delicacy. No, it sounds like food.
No, you know what? I don't think we do, because
like a little lace here and there.
No, I'm not into lace.
Really?
Yeah, and like I think Gary, that's my husband, has loved that I love that style for like that style for a home. Like if you're looking at homes that are like in Denver and they're either that rustic cowboy or that like lodge, or if you're looking at like the Southwest type homes, you know, in New Mexico, Arizona, I love all that. You know what I mean? And there's really no lace
Miranda
or anything.
Lambert's house?
No, surprisingly no. I love her. Her house. I've seen her trailer.
It's amazing. I don't know what I was watching, but it's Southwestern. But then here, I think it was just in her bedroom. It was like total rustic with just little feminine touches, and it was just so beautiful. Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely going to be probably maybe feminine touches, but like not lace or like.
When I say lace, I love putting like flannel and like a teeny bit of lace popping out.
That's cute.
Yeah, just that surprise. Once again,
yeah.
I can't stay in the box. I gotta throw a wild card.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty like, yeah. Well, I mean, with clothes, you know, you definitely want to like throw in more of the, because clothing the same way, you know, either
Do you
like
take
that.
Fashion risks? This is totally not on topic, but all of a sudden I thought about it.
You know, like, I don't know. I mean, I dress how I like to dress.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the trend is. Because, like, and I feel like I'm so happy that who the real me is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when we're talking about get to know yourself.
Yeah.
So me, because before I knew myself, oh my God, I'd given to every trend.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how we're supposed to dress.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Even though
I had the same shoes as everybody.
Yeah.
All wrong. But my shoe, oh my God, we all have the same the shoes that are in, the same person. You know, like.
Speaking of trends, mom jeans.
But, you know, obviously there's some pieces that are the trend that are cute. But it's like, I love, like, you know, just that.
Authentic. That's why you're
bohemian cowgirl, or just, you know what I mean? Just like
that.
Yeah, and so those will have, you know, little lace or whatever. But maybe sometimes, you know, you feel more like the hippie cowgirl. You know what I mean? Like the different Yeah. Like on that. But like in just, you know, that to me, like Southwest type style too. Those are timeless.
I love it too.
They're timeless. You know what I mean? No matter what. Yes. They're timeless, and with those you can definitely add like some nice feminine pieces. But you know, going back to that at home, it's probably more like, it's comfy, it's cozy. Yeah. You know, and I think my husband has appreciated it. You know what I mean? Because he'll go to some of his friends' houses and he'll see their rooms or whatever, you know, and sometimes, and if you do this, that's okay. But like, I'll notice like sometimes we'll take over the room as a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like a man doesn't sleep there. Do you know what I mean? And it's
I tried so hard not to do that.
Yeah,
Because
right?
my dad
Yes.
used to sleep in pink sheets.
Yes, see, and I don't want
floral wallpaper.
Gary wants nothing floral in our bedrooms.
Yeah.
I mean, he does not. He does not want a floral.
We have stripes.
Comfort.
I figured that was a good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, we're doing this. We're gonna redo and do this like Americana theme.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like,
Oh, that
but it's
sounds
kind of
cute.
rustic Americana and like really nice photos of places all around the country that we love. You know, so it's like,
Yeah.
So that could still be nice and you know, cute, but nothing.
And do you want Gary
feminine,
sleeping in a lacy bed?
No. I will walk into some of my girlfriends' rooms. I'm like, oh, this poor dude. So I try not to have the house or anything look like it vomited so much femininity that this poor man, you know, like.
How do you feel getting in there, honey? Well, after they take off the 20 pillows, of course. I don't understand why we have these.
Yes, oh my god.
Because we do. Okay.
They're important.
Just put them in the trunk.
Oh, they're very
yeah,
important.
no, I try to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't, I mean, his garage, Joel loves his garage.
That's
so
how
that's
Gary
his
is.
place.
Oh, that's, yep.
I have to actually say, I would like to put this in your garage.
Yeah, oh.
And he's like, what purpose is that serving and why do I have that?
Yes. Oh my god.
Please, I have nowhere to put it.
That is Gary. Because I'm like, oh, he's like, where are you going with that? Because he'll see me heading that way. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to set this in the garage. Because, I mean, he has a particular way.
Yeah.
With the garage.
Joel hasn't found I have some wreaths on top of his safe.
Oh.
There's some really pretty eucalyptus. Don't tell him. He hasn't seen it yet.
So
he's going to say,
funny.
why is this here? Yeah.
But
no, it's good to respect that as your husband. Like, they don't want, and I try to do that with my decorating too. You know, I want them to be comfortable too.
Yes.
Okay, so then, we have your favorite food, favorite color. We know how you decorate. Do you have a favorite book? Do you read books?
No, you know what? I don't. I hardly ever read. I am the worst.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Did you read Girl Stop Apologizing or Girl Wash Your Face?
Okay, I have that book. I was visiting my sister-in-law.
Wait, which one do you have?
I think might be the first one. Because
Okay,
wait,
Girl
tell me
Wash
the
Your
names.
Face.
Tell me the.
Girl Wash Your Face, and then the second one. Girl Stop Apologizing is the second one.
So I probably
Which actually
have.
The second one's better than the first.
Okay, so I feel like I have the first because I hadn't even read that yet. My sister-in-law Julie's like, you need to read this. So I just got that. And that I'll read. Books like that I will read.
Yeah.
You know, but like I'll just read. I've always been the worst with books. My best friend, she loves books. I mean, she reads a lot. She's super busy too, but she finds like that's her relaxation.
Yeah.
And so we always laugh on how opposite we are in that, right? Because like, well, I just read Cowboys and Indians magazine. You know what I mean? Like, more like,
well, but some people like magazines more.
Yeah, like I'll read stories online, right? Or inspirational things, or.
I only took up reading later on, like maybe 10 years ago. But at night to make me fall asleep.
Yeah, like that book I will read to make you fall asleep because it's so terrible.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know why this one's popping in my head, but I read it a million years ago. That Tuesdays with Morrie, and the thing that I really loved about that book was, and I was like, wow, I want to try and adopt that. Where he said that it was Tuesdays with Morrie because it's been so long. Where I think Morrie is the person he's interviewing. I could be wrong, sorry. But whoever it is that he is, the author's interviewing, that person made whoever was in the room with that person, you felt like when you were talking with him, you were the only thing. Mm-hmm. You were the only person on the planet.
And that is a gift.
I remember taking away from this, I read this book in my 20s, and I thought, what a beautiful gift. Yeah. Because a lot of us, it's not that we're not there, but to learn how to be that present, I think takes years.
Oh, 100%.
Because, you know, I'm present here with you right now, and so are you, but like, there's even more present we could be, right? Like to really learn that.
Like 10 minutes of uninterrupted eye contact.
I love that movie. Oh my God.
I like, you're bringing me right there. When our kids are really mean to each other, we're like, 5-minute hug
Oh
in
my
the middle
God.
of the room.
Oh my God, that movie is the best.
Yes.
I love it.
No,
Oh
but
my
that
God,
is
yeah.
true. That is a
Yeah,
gift.
I was
So-
like, God, that
and it
just
makes
really hit
people,
me. So
People are important. And
Yeah.
the biggest, in society, when people are helpless and don't have a voice, that's when we're in real trouble.
Yep.
And so to feel when someone's truly listening to you, that's huge.
Yep, it is.
And if not one of the biggest things you
Yeah.
can get.
Because like we crave the most is connection.
Yes.
Yep. It's like we're always searching for that thing to fill that
Yep.
hole, and it's that it's connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
need
that's
that.
why I want tons of more kids, but Joel said no. And so I keep filling my life with other things. Like birds. Let's not even go there.
Oh no.
Anyways, we should wrap this up so you can go. Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Yeah.
Radio Goddess,
Oh
Dawn, touches many people's lives. Thank you for sharing all this. I'm sure many will take away something from this. You gave a lot of great advice, even though you were being authentic in yourself, which was a huge part of, that's an important thing to be.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, subscribe if you like it. Talk to you later. I'm running over there to turn it off. This is high class.
I'll just be here by myself right now.
High class. Let's see.